Tonight's bombshell news on the indictment of Roger Stone starts with his back-channel dealings in 2016. You can't really understand how Mueller nailed him for alleged crimes after Trump's election without seeing what Stone did and said during the election. Now, we've been reporting on this wild tale from the start, from Stone claiming his allies were intermediaries to WikiLeaks, to Stone telling me he never knowingly contacted Russians to help Trump. We got his denial on the record. You're saying you haven't had that?
There are none. I have never been to Russia. I have no contacts in Russia. I had no contact with any representatives of the Russian state or Russian intelligence. I had no knowledge, I had no contacts with people who might have been a go-between without my knowledge.
So that's your denial on the record.
That is a flat denial.
Flat denial. Stone's own associates, though, tell a pretty different story, that he was bragging about his access to Julian Assange. And while public reports linked him to this Russian-backed hacker, we were also reporting that even a good defense for Stone was looking like it would require admitting at least he lied in the past. Maybe the only question left for Roger Stone, if he does ever face Mueller's investigators, at this point, is your best defense to tell them, I lied about everything? Now, there's no record that Mueller's team ever brought Stone in for questioning, instead waiting and now today indicting him for, yes, lies, alleging he corresponded with associates about contacting WikiLeaks to get emails damaging to Clinton. And this is key. Anyone could criticize Stone, but Mueller needs evidence. Mueller's indictment is built on evidence from two Stone associates, person one and person two, who we can identify as the Mueller witnesses Jerome Corsi and Randy Credico. Mueller cites Corsi telling Stone word is Assange plans 2 more dumps, the friend in the embassy. Now, was that collusion? Corsi told his side right here on The Beat. You wrote to Stone, quote, word is friend in the embassy plans 2 more dumps. Word is sounds like a reference to the word on the street or things you're hearing.
I grant that.
Do you typically say word is before you share a thought that is your own deduction?
Well, over my entire life, going back to when I was a child, my father said, Jerry, when you come up with these deductions, which are often right, you're going to have trouble getting people to believe them.
So right there you have Corsi helping Stone's defense, arguing it was not collusion, maybe just attempted collusion. But then Corsi hurt Stone by backing up what Mueller charged today, allegedly that Roger Stone did intend to obstruct and mislead Congress. And why did Roger Stone want you to lie about the Podesta information?
Roger, I was given immunity by the Mueller prosecutors in order to make this testimony, because my lawyer did not want me to be held then for suborning perjury, because Roger used that memo in his testimony, the House Intelligence Committee sworn testimony.
That's Corsi saying his friend was doing perjury he didn't want to suborn. Then you have person two, who Stone touted as an intermediary, a go-between, a mutual friend for them and Assange. But in one of his only TV interviews about this whole saga, Randy Credico, person two, flatly denies Stone's depiction of him as sharing information from Assange to Stone. The allegation from Mr. Stone is that you are the intermediary between Assange and him.
I have no idea some of the things I may have said to him, but certainly did not pass any information from Julian Assange to Roger Stone.
Today, Mueller reveals emails that show Stone and Credico discussing what WikiLeaks might release, and Credico allegedly taking Stone's request and passing it on for specific emails. Now, it doesn't state if the request was acted on. But Mueller does show that these two men's relationship began to fray, charging that Stone then threatened Credico to prevent him from cooperation and even threatened his pet, Stone writing he would, quote, take that dog away from you. Stone's denying these charges today, but the evidence was emerging in real time. We asked Credico about Stone's motivation for the threats. Roger Stone allegedly said to you, quote, I'm going to take that dog away from you. Nothing you can do about it. I'm paraphrasing. I will prove to the world you're a liar. Is Stone, in your view, trying to threaten you so you will change your account of his activities in 2016?
He's afraid I'm going to unload on him.
Wow. We've been watching all of this. It may sound like a movie. That's deliberate. Roger Stone is a dramatic, self-proclaimed dirty trickster. Mueller quotes Stone, citing the iconic witness intimidation scene in Godfather 2. And because this is 2019, this is the second time that reference has come up this very week. Michael Cohen's lawyer invoked it to explain Trump's alleged witness tampering last night. Now, when pundits talk about The Godfather, it's an analogy. When Bob Mueller puts The Godfather in an indictment, he's alleging it's a crime. As Sean Carter put it in a famous double entendre, shoot at you actors like movie directors. But this ain't a movie, dog. No, it's not. Anyone still acting should know all of that by now, from Stone to the witness he threatened to, yes, that witness's dog. Which brings us finally to the Roger Stone associates we just heard from this week, Russia witnesses. That includes person one and many angry with Stone for the very conduct charged in Mueller's new indictment.
And I think you're putting your old friend in danger.
Well, he put us all in danger, by the way, Mike. The fact of the matter is, the reason us three are essentially in there is because of Stone.
I get that, but
Number two,
I don't
Roger,
let Sam finish.
Number two, Roger's on Donald Trump. Okay? He's not going to get away with witness tampering. He should shut up.
He's not going to get away with witness tampering. That was Sam Nunberg, former Stone associate this week. Today, Mueller charges Stone with witness tampering. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.